and it's 2 goals for Kuzminik here, and he is going to break his way back into this team.
Oh, yes!
Hello and welcome back to another episode as part of the Corners of Europe Challenge, and welcome back to Shakhtar, where in today's episode we have got 2 games coming up in the Champions League. We make our return to it. The first game against Ajax, a team who we played last year. It's a team who we're starting to get familiar with, and then after that, a team who we are very, very familiar with, RB Leipzig. We are going away to in that second game. Our fixtures have come out. That includes Ajax we're playing against, RB Leipzig we're playing against, Real Sociedad are in there. We've got Anderlecht, which will be a good game. Chelsea, who are in there. Barcelona, Vitoria, and also Monaco. So we've pretty much played all these teams by now. The only team who we haven't would be Anderlecht and Monaco. Vitoria, you know, the OG rival we've kind of had on the channel here. Barcelona, I think we have played them once already in a league phase. Yeah, we did. Oh no, we didn't actually. So it'll be a new game for us actually. I thought we had played them. So that is 3 new teams. We've got Chelsea, who obviously knocked us out last year. We've got Anderlecht, who is the new team. Real Sociedad, who we played last year. Leipzig, who we've been knocked out twice by, and then also Ajax, who we beat last year as well. So it should be a good, I mean, I think we've got very tough games, to be fair. We've got our pot 1 teams are Barcelona and Chelsea. Chelsea are favourites to win it, I think, and Barcelona are just insane as well. And then we've got Real Sociedad, who are pot 2 team, and RB Leipzig as well. I think RB Leipzig I'm not too sure, but one of them is the pot. I mean, we've got Barcelona, Chelsea, Real Sociedad, RB Leipzig. That is 4 very, very tough games. The push is on getting top 8, but we'll have to see whether or not we do. But with this new team, hopefully we can. We've been given 33 to 1 odds, I'm fairly certain. As you can see here, we've given 33 to 1, which is respectable, to be fair. They do rate us quite highly, but obviously not with the top teams just yet. And that's what we want to try and do, go on and beat a top team, and that will come by beating those top teams in this league phase and getting into that top 8. And the final thing, bit of frustrating and sad news really, Winston Zeldenrust is going to be out for potentially up to 6 months. So we've given him specialist treatment so he can try and get him back really fast. He got a broken lower leg. You know, the next gen winner. He's had a bit of a slow start to the season, but I was so excited to work with him. I thought I've got a feeling he's just going to become a cult hero, but we're going to have to wait for him to see him make an impact. He's going to be out for potentially up to 6 months, which would bring him back around March time, potentially a bit earlier, hopefully a bit earlier, probably around 5 months, so around February. But that is very, very frustrating. The new signing has got injured like that, and we have to just hope that he comes back and can play as well as he should do, and he can still go on and continue to develop that potential that he has at 20 years of age. Since the last episode, obviously we had the Super Cup final, we played a lot of games. We got to the Champions League with an 11-4 win. That's an interesting scoreline against Astana from Kazakhstan. We went away to Kazakhstan, which would have been a corner of Europe, but I guess it wasn't. We beat them very, very comfortably, conceded a few goals in the league, a 3-0, 5-1, 2-1, 2-0, and then a 3-2 win, which included a 93rd minute equaliser and a 95th minute winner, actually, away from home against Alexandria. Was it, or was it Prikpatia? Yeah, it was Prikpatia there. As you can see, we're also through to the quarterfinals of the Ukrainian Cup. So it's been a bit of a shaky start, but I think we're playing well. Just need to get this team starting to gel together, this tactic starting to work, and then we should be going on to become. I think there's potential to make a final this year. Last year I was hesitant, but this year I feel like there's that potential to make the final that we should have last year. But obviously we've had the year delay now to our plan. One of up to 4 if we were to match what happened at Tromsø, and you know what happened at Tromsø was very, very special. So we don't want to, but we're only 1 year delayed here. It was 4 years delayed in Tromsø, and I have a feeling we can make that final this year. It's the Champions League returns today up against Ajax. So the team for this game against Ajax starts with Barreto in goal today because Enrique is out for a few weeks with an arm injury, which obviously isn't ideal for a goalkeeper. We've got a backline of Antonio, Lozano, Souza and Cortazar, Ochoa, Lind, Rysakov, Jean and Shevchenko and Monzon play up top. As the teams walk out here in the Donbass Arena, Champions League football is back, and what an occasion. It's going to be a full strength team, bar Zeldin Rust if you want to put it that way. We've got Antonio playing at left back today. It's a conscious decision I'm making. He is 32 years of age and he's still got a lot of ability, so I mean, I think it's an interesting one. I don't know whether we play Camindo or not because I'm not going to lie, I think he is a bit more advanced and more of an advanced player, and I just think Antonio, he is a left back, he is right footed, but I think he's fairly strong. I've been looking, you can look at weak foot, figured out how to do it, and his weak foot is fairly strong, so if he can do it, we might as well go and let him play at left back and he can play that more natural role. He's a very consistent player, he's been here for a number of years now. I mean, he might be one of our longest serving players. He's been here since 2036 there. As you can see, he's played nearly 100 league games. What is this, his fifth season? Yeah, his fifth full season with us, so he was one of the first players we signed, and there's no signs of him slowing down really. Very, very good player that we've got there, and I think it makes sense to keep him in the team. We've got Monzon who starts up front today, pairing Shevchenko. He might have got himself a goal here in this game, we'll have to find out. I'm not too sure if it will stand because he might have gone a little bit too early, but it is going to stand. So Monzon gets himself a goal in this game, and that is 1-0 here against Ajax, and that is going to be going on our way to our first 3 points. Hopefully will be very, very important for us. Obviously, you know, we have to consider a replacement. Do we go back to a 4-2-3-1? Do we play Monzon? You know, is there something else we could potentially do whilst Zeldin Rust is out? Because now that we've got really good attacking depth, there's a number of things we can do. I think Monzon, I mean, he's got himself a goal in this game. He's played it well there, really, really well. They rate him quite highly. The press, I don't know what award he was tipped for at the start of the year. I think it might have been top player, or something. No, the top player award is odds on for Lozano, but I don't know what it would have been. Top goal scorer maybe, or top not young player, maybe just top player. I really don't know, but they clearly rate him. It's come from Fenerbahce, where we've got a pattern with signing from Fenerbahce now. We signed Jackson, Antonio, Monzon. All of them have all come from that, which is interesting because I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to offend any of the Turkish fans. I do know there is actually viewers in Turkey who have watched the channel. I don't want to offend anyone because I know if I say a club who I would prefer, then I could annoy a few people. I know that as well. If we go to Turkey, I can only manage in one club, but we'll have to consider that if that ever comes up. Not just yet, but Monzon could definitely work there on that right side. I mean, Shevchenko has had a flying start to the season. Monzon's in behind here. Can he get his second of the game? Monzon with the shot. He's hit the crossbar. It's got a nice ring to it, that Monzon. It could become a pattern here. It could become a normal thing here as he plays a corner in at the near post. Cortazar goes up for it. It goes out for another corner. No, it falls back to Monzon here, who's playing the more advanced role in comparison to Shevchenko. Shevchenko a bit more pressing. I mean, you could argue Shevchenko's the one on the press. Cortazar just puts that wide there. Shevchenko could arguably be the one who's a bit higher with the when he's pressing. It's something to consider. Shevchenko's had a flying start to the season. He got 6 goals and assists across those 2 games against Astana in the playoff. I don't know why we had to play a playoff, but there we are. 12 goals already this season, I think. He's taken a knock. We're going to bring on Kuzmanik there. A bit of a straight swap. But in this game, he's not got up to speed. I mean, according to Rating, Rysakov hasn't either, but Gene and Monzon have had a really good game, which is what is good. That's what we've brought them in for. And if they play better than Rysakov, that's a very tough thing to do. Or Shevchenko, it's a tough thing to do. It's the reason they've stayed in this team. I mean, Rysakov's had a great start since he's come back. He started the season injured and he's been really, really good. Kuzminik's in behind here. Kuzminik with the shot. 2-0 here in this game. And Alexander Kuzminik stays scoring. He may be out of this team, but when we need him, he can find a goal, and he could potentially be the replacement for. I mean, it is something I've considered. It is definitely something I've considered. There's many options we could potentially do. If it was to go like that, we could move Shevchenko back over to the right and potentially Jean into the hole maybe, or something like that. Rysakov couldn't. We've got Craig Harvey on the bench, who's a decent player, but he is the right-sided player who we would need. I don't know if is there anyone else who we could potentially play there. We've got on the bench. I mean, no, it doesn't really look like it. There's anyone else who we could play there? I mean, Cambindo could go, Rysakov could go, but they can't. I mean, Rysakov can, but is it worth taking him out of a position where he can play very well? I'm not too sure. It's probably not worth it. So there's things we have to consider when we have to adapt to this, but. I mean, Kuzminik and Monzon, the two players who are kind of fighting for that position, have both got themselves a goal. So there's questions to be raised. In the Champions League, it'll be a decision. Kuzminik's in here again. Kuzminik with the shot, and it's 2 goals for Kuzminik here, and he is going to break his way back into this team if he keeps playing like this. He's just played it in behind on that right side where it's onto his favour. He's actually left-footed, I think. So he's playing in a role. He is playing left-sided, never mind. I got that mixed up a bit, but he's just played that ball in behind. Jean is playing inverted. That's what I like about this role. It's a very flexible role. It's like Real Madrid. Yesterday's thumbnail, if you saw it, how that was, it was all about Real Madrid. Real Madrid play a very flexible system. Sometimes it is 2 strikers with, Rodrigo and Vinicius, or Bellingham sometimes goes there, but mainly Bellingham is in behind. It's a very flexible system, and you saw the area Jean took up there in the hole. He just finds Kuzminik because the defenders are kind of focused on Jean. They have to be considerate of different areas, the fullbacks, the other wingers and the other strikers, and it just leaves a gap for Kuzminik to run through, and that is a brilliant finish. We have dominated this Ajax team here. Just look at that. It's been a perfect performance, and now we need to take this into the game against RB Leipzig. How have they done it in their opening game? They're losing to if we can go and take a look, they're losing at home to Atletico Madrid, and we have a game against them at home, which is always nice to see. They'll probably, I mean, I assume, is it still Simeone? It isn't Simeone. Where is he? Is he? He gets into only. Where is he? He's the manager of Barcelona now. That's very impressive. 70 years old. 20 years he spent at Madrid. He only goes into the icons, which I'm not too sure. I mean, I don't know if Atletico Madrid won a Champions League. They haven't at this point in history. Obviously lost those 2 finals with Simeone. It's quite a sad story, to be fair, because both times it was to Real Madrid. If I'm not mistaken, I'm fairly certain it was, and it was unlucky that they didn't get over the line, considering they were a few seconds away from winning it. And that must have been a heartbreaking thing for Simeone. He's had it very tough, let's just put it that way. I know I say a lot about the white side of Madrid, but they have had it very tough as well. But I guess that's just the nature of football. Not our problem here. The full-time whistle goes. That is a 3-1 win in the Champions League. The perfect performance. And finally, the team for this game against RB Leipzig. Is it going to be 5th time lucky? We'll have to find out. The team starts with Barreto in goal. Backline of Antonio, Lozano, Souza and Cortazar. Kravchuk comes in for the injured Ochoa today. We've got Lind next to him, Rysakov and Jean on the wings, and Kuzminik and Monzon pair each other up top as the teams walk out here for this game in the Red Bull Arena. We have been given very poor odds against this RB Leipzig team, but if that's the case, this team is still gelling. We've been hit with a few injuries, and they haven't really had a lot of time to settle. As I say, they've had a Euros, they've had a Copa America as well. It's been very, very intense as RB Leipzig get themselves a goal inside 30 seconds. We had a game in the gap where we won 1-0, and that goal is going to stand as well. So we've been put on the back foot within a few seconds of the game starting, and we're making this job here at RB Leipzig that little bit tougher as the ball goes into the middle. Bit of defending required. It goes back out wide here. We'll get a flag ref. It's not going to be given, and more defending required from us. They're playing obviously a similar system. They still play practically the same system as a few just before, so hopefully we can minimise it by matching it, if that's how you want to put it. But yeah, I think it will be a tough game. Obviously RB Leipzig, very, very good team, but at the same time we've got some quality in attack now, which will be well, it is the reason why we brought them in. And the tactics still settling, the not especially the formation, but also the actual tactics. Kuzminik's in behind here. Kuzminik with the shot, he's at the crossbar. How unlucky is that from Kuzminik? It'll fall to Rysakov here, and he can only look to get a ball in. Rysakov plays it to the edge. He finds Antonio, and Antonio, where will he go now? Infield to find Lind. Lind on the ball. Lind is dispossessed, but it falls to Kravchuk here. He goes out wide to Kortazar. Kortazar's got a big grass to run into ahead of him now. Kortazar can look to play a ball in. That's what he does. Kuzminik is there. He's put it over. Unfortunate that he's not able to convert, but this is a good bit of attacking play. We worked the ball well, we didn't give it away, and ultimately we made ourselves a good and what may turn out to be, well, it is a very, very valuable chance. That's the way of putting it. It's important that we make chances like that, and could be the difference in this game. But we may have just conceded a penalty here in this game. I mean, the issue we've had with left backs is against RB Leipzig, I mean, it's a more general thing for Antonio, is that he gives away penalties, but on that left side when we played Camindo, we left it so exposed, so exposed. It's very frustrating that we've conceded a penalty here. The penalty has sent the keeper the wrong way, and that is 2-0 here inside 10 minutes for RB Leipzig. Just hold your horses. We might not be winning that Champions League just yet. The process is obviously still going to go on, but I'm not too bothered right now. As I say, we've got a few injuries: Shevchenko, Zaldan Rust, and also Ochoa, all out for 3 very key players for us, and it's not going to happen overnight, is it? Kuzminik is in here though. Kuzminik with the effort. It's a bit of a weak one in the end. It's been a very eventful start to this game, and it's exactly what we want, but we need to have a bit of a better say in this game, just get a bit more involved, and don't let RB Leipzig run away with it. If we can, Kortazar near post, and he puts his hand up, and the referee puts his hand up as well to give a free kick to this RB Leipzig team. Where, I mean, how's our chances looking? We've had a few by now. Yeah, we've had a few there, not much of the ball, but we have had the chances. RB Leipzig coming the attack here once again down that far left side, as you can see there. Bit of defending required from us. We wouldn't want to go 3-0 down. The ball is in the middle and it's hit the post. I mean, to be fair, I don't know what it is, because I feel like we've attacked quite a lot, but RB Leipzig must just be an insane team at the moment. As I say, we've been given a very tough draw. 18 points is what we want, but if we can get 16, come away with a point from this game, I'd be happy with that, whilst the tactics are still settling in, as I say. But yeah, it's been we've performed okay so far. We've not defended too well. We obviously gave away a penalty. I feel like we can find a few goals here. Players are a bit tired as well, because, as I say, they've not had a big rest. A lot of that will come in the winter, and ideally for the knockout games, which is, I guess, it's a good thing, but also a bit frustrating for this league phase. Potentially why we don't do as well. But at the same time, we probably just don't do as well because, especially last year, because of our performance, because we didn't have Copa America and Euros last year. We've had World Cups, but we didn't have that, so I can't see how it impacted us that much. So I don't know. I really, really don't know, but we just have to let it settle. I think we will do well, and ultimately everything will go a bit more smoothly. I think we've got a much better team, so I don't even think we can get too frustrated if we do. I mean, we can get frustrated if we do poorly, but we just have to be patient, knowing that it will eventually come for us. The ball in the middle. It's 3-0 here inside this first half, and maybe we should have listened to that advice a little bit more. They were telling us we need to be much more cautious, and potentially we do. There's a big risk with playing this. I guess it's a 4-2-4 on paper, but I want to consider it a 4-4-2 because in defence we are quite, Rysakov and Gene are supposed to sit a little bit deeper. But I guess there's risks to it, but also at the same time it could work out for us. And I think once it starts to gel a little bit more, everyone gets familiar, especially with these new attackers, gets familiar in their roles, then it will work. It's all in being patient, and we should be able to get over the line and get that result that we want that we want from this goal here that we have in Shakhtar Donetsk. Lind finds himself on the ball. He loses out on that in the midfield though. Really poor from him in the end, and now a bit of defending required from Cortazar. He's beaten by his winger. Cortazar still has to do a bit more defending. It's Lind actually who's come across. The header goes in. Barreto with the save, and it goes back in. We're also missing Enrique as well. That's another player we were missing. So Barreto has not been too good. We've not been too good aerially, which is quite disappointing really, considering Salza and Lozano, two really quite tall players, but I guess we can't do much about that. We'll bring on Cambindo there on the left side. I think we'll bring on Jarov or Cortazar, and Gina's not in his best game. We'll bring on Harvey, and we'll go with those three changes. Now I think the morale in the squad's quite good at the moment, obviously with the Ochoa thing. I would hope he'd leave by January just so we can get him out. He's a bit he's feeling like a burden, and I wish I didn't say that because he probably is the best player in this team. They rate him so highly, but I don't want Shakhtar to be a stepping stone club, and I'd rather keep players. But if they're just going to be like that, then we might as well just not stand in their way. And if that means they have to go into a top club for that to happen, then I guess that's what we have to do. The full-time whistle is going to go in this game. Not been our best performance, but I don't think we've been too bad, and we had a good opening game as well. So not to be here in the Red Bull Arena, I guess RB Leipzig are a bit too good for us. So once again, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy that video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll leave you with this little tune, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.